I hope he never take that step.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help. So let's start this video with 3 Miss Olympia champions having a pose down at the end of a brutal arms workout. So the battle for the Olympia 2025, that is now up. And although the conditioning of all of these guys at 19 weeks out, that doesn't mean anything. But still, it is very fun to look at all of these guys at 19 weeks out and see who looked the best during the off-season. Well, during that pose down, if there is one thing that both Brendan Carey and Derek Lunsford did, it was jumping the line, and that is why they are looking a lot bigger than they actually are, especially in comparison to Samson Dauda. Because the reality is that Samson Dauda, he's the biggest guy out there. I mean, the man is 328 pounds right now, and he has visible abs, which is simply insane. And another fun thing that happened is that Samson Dauda, he let them measure his arms, his biceps specifically, after the workout. So those right there are 24 inches guns. And just looking back at some pictures of Samson from when he first came onto the scene, it can be seen that his arms, they weren't among the best out there. In fact, they were kind of a weakness on him. So it is safe to say that the man has made some tremendous improvement in terms of his arms development. Another thing that was common among all of these 3 guys was that their off-season condition that looked so unbelievably insane. Now Derek Lunsford, he just competed about 4 weeks back, and that was at the Pittsburgh Pro. So he was supposed to look this sharp. But the thing is, normally Brendan doesn't even start his prep this far out of the Olympia. And the sheer size on Brendan Carey, that was looking so impressive. Now Brendan obviously isn't in the discussion for this year's Olympia title. But you can just tell, and you can see right there, that the man is very serious about this whole year. And the fact that Samson Dauda, he just started his off-season about 3 weeks back and looking so big and so huge, that is freaking unreal. So Derek right now most definitely is in the clean out phase. He is probably in the detox. He has the longest prep out of all of these guys. So it makes sense for him to clean out his system. But even then, the man is holding on to all that size very well. So the biggest surprise here, that was Brendan, because nobody expected Brendan to look this good. Now one thing is absolutely guaranteed this year, that this is going to be an insane Miss Olympia all around, and not just the fight for the title. And I think we have already established this, that this is turning out to be one of the most open Olympias in the recent times. Now if you guys think that Samson got out-angled very hard in that pose down, then just have a look at this picture. Both Samson and Brendan, they kind of made Derek look like a 212 guy. So this right here is what we call completely out-angling. So what did you guys think? Which one of these 3 guys looked the best here? So Keon Pearson checks in at 18 weeks out of this year's Miss Olympia, looking so mind-blowing. But at this point, that is something we kind of expect from Keon Pearson every single time. Look at those vacuums and those lats. That is what makes his physique one of the best physique, possibly in all of bodybuilding history. As much as the fans, they want Keon Pearson to put on some more muscle and switch over to the men's open bodybuilding this year. The 8 times Miss Olympia Lee Haney, he also wants Keon Pearson to switch over. But his current stance on the men's open bodybuilding, that kind of made him change his opinion about Keon Pearson and the men's open.
When Keon Pearson is going to take that step, being a 212 champion right now.
Yeah.
And
I hope he never take that step. I think Keon had one of the most beautiful physiques ever. And I've noticed people have been saying, well, he need to put on 20 more pounds. Why you want to put on 20 more pounds and turn into an orc? So I don't share in the fact that Keon need to put on more size or go up to the next class. Next class is confusing. The open class is confusing. It don't know where it wants to go.
Because we all know, in order for Keon to do very well, possibly fight for that Olympia title in the men's open too, he has to put on some more muscle, some more size, some more thickness. And Lee Haney was kind of doubtful that Keon chasing size, that won't be a good idea. Now he does have a point here, And we know his concern. That is Keon might get blocky while putting on more muscle. Or maybe blow out his waistline while getting bigger. And we know that is something, if that happens, that will be so disastrous for a guy like Keon. The whole beauty of his physique that lies in that smallest waistline and the ability to open up so wide that it kind of seems unbelievable. So as of right now, open bodybuilding isn't on Keon's mind. All he wants to do is step up and make another mind-blowing transformation and dominate the 212 Olympia one more time. We saw he absolutely demolished the whole competition last year in the 212, and I believe he's about to create an even bigger gap between him and the second place finisher at the Olympia this year. Next up, we have the physique update from Stephane Matala. So he's down about 10 pounds compared to his peak off season. And you can see some changes in this physique update already. The chest is looking more striated. Delts have more separation, which is a very clear indication that the diet that has finally started by Stephane and his coach Patrick Tour for his men's open bodybuilding debut. And if all goes well, Stephane is gonna step on the stage around 10 days before the Olympia this year. And that is going to be at France Pro Show. So by that calculation, this physique update that marks around 17 weeks out of his first show in the men's open. And as fans, we cannot be any more excited to look at this final package because this is a guy whom we have been waiting to see in the men's open ever since he first came onto the scene. So can you guys imagine where his physique would have been if he chose the men's open bodybuilding right from the get-go instead of going into the classic physique division? But that being said, at this point it is what it is. So as a former classic physique pro, we do not expect him to enter his first show in the men's open and just win it, because there will still be some size difference between him and some of the seasoned veterans. But the kind of muscle quality that Stephane has, only a few pros, they can truly match that. So I for one am very excited to see him in the men's open. If I'm not mistaken, William Bonac said that he's gonna be done with the season after this past New York Pro. Well, it turns out that he isn't. His recent physique update and the conditioning that he's showcasing right now, this makes him about 2 weeks out of this upcoming Dubai Pro. And if his health is 100% intact, he should 100% jump into that show and make some more money and have a go against guys like Behrouz Tabani, Tonio Burton, Nathan Digesha, and Rubiel Mosquera. So William has won only one pro show this year, which was Detroit Pro, but the man has been placing very high in all of these other shows, and financially speaking, this might be one of the best years for William Bonac in the recent past. This obviously doesn't compare to 2020 when he won the Arnold, but considering his age and the length of his career, the man is still doing pretty damn awesome, beating all of these young guys over and over again. Now he was clearly in the second place behind the Mutant. He came in fourth at the Pittsburgh Pro, where he could have been as high as top 3, and nobody would have complained. So last year William Bonac, he was second at Dubai Pro, behind Behrouz Tabani, and the man did win some shots against Behrouz. Now if we just imagine for 1 second that both these guys, they show up at their 100% for this upcoming Dubai Pro, then I do believe that Behrouz is gonna take it. But that being said, nothing is ever guaranteed in bodybuilding. We know anything can happen on the day of the show. We do however know that Bonac's consistency in terms of his peaking, that is probably one of the best ever. Now William Bonac is such a great veteran of the game, a true example of taking the full advantage of being in shape. So William did beat Behrouz Tabani and Nathan Digesha last year, and later on both these guys did beat him. So this is gonna be one hell of a show, and I for one am very excited for this one. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.